Hello, everyone. I'm Dalton Burdett.
I'm Nick Iricchio.
And we are the Movie Nights.
Well, some of them.
You're watching this because you want to hear our uncensored,
unfiltered
thoughts and opinions in the world of movies and entertainment. So kick back,
relax,
and the Movie Nights Roundtable begins now. Holy shit, do we have some DC news to cover.
James Gunn went off today.
He is an absolute madman. So, if you clicked on this video, James Gunn and Peter Safran, the CEOs of DC Studios, newly formed, have announced the first part of their Chapter 1 of the DCU that they're calling
Gods and Monsters.
Gods and Monsters.
Bitchin'
Chapter
title.
1. Bitchin' title, absolutely. And this is also interesting because they answer some questions that we have while leaving other questions up in the air, which we'll get into, but they do make a lot of things clear.
Yeah.
Some of these things I'm a fan of. Some of these things I'm iffy on. So, overall, I'm going to remain cautiously optimistic. I really want all these things to be good, but let's kind of dive into everything that we know. First things first, before we get into any new titles, we know that throughout 2023, we have 4 movies coming out: Shazam 2, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman 2. And from James Gunn's mouth, and this is the first time that it's ever been officially confirmed, he says that the Flash movie, quote, resets everything to kind of allow the new universe to kick in.
And that it's one of the greatest superhero movies of all time.
He said that. He said it's one of the best superhero movies ever.
No input in that movie.
He had no input. He does run the studio.
Yeah, now he
Grain
does.
of salt.
Yeah, but he didn't say that about He didn't say that about Shazam.
Nope. No, he did not. But yeah, so this is really interesting to me to hear that. And there are rumors, this is not confirmed, there are rumors going around that some reshoots happened that changed the ending to fit more of the type of reboot that they're doing.
Okay.
But he left the door open for some people to return, which opens my ears a little bit because I'm like, that's interesting, you know.
Reboot or don't.
Yeah, reboot or don't. But see, I'll get into what my big questions are later. But let's dive into beyond that. We know in 2024, Joker 2, Filet I'll Do is coming out, which he has now confirmed that anything not in the DCU will be labeled as DC Elseworlds, which I love.
Very clearly.
I love that idea. And it allows more filmmakers who don't want to get attached to that type of storytelling, like of one universe, to be like, hey, can I just make something over here? And it's like, sure, Elseworlds, fuck it, go for it. I think that is something DC is a big step up on over Marvel. Yeah, that Marvel still won't allow that.
I think Marvel's too far gone to allow that at this point.
Probably. We'll see how the multiverse saga goes. I think they might set up stories because that's how they want to do it. Yeah. So that people can come in. But I think you should be able to just come in and do let's do an R-rated fucking Spider-Man movie. Or it's not Sony, but let's do an R-rated, let's do Demon in a Bottle straight from the comic with all new actors for Iron Man. That'd be cool. Anyway, let's get into the actual news slate that we're excited about.
Yes.
So it's split up into movies and TV shows.
What do you want to start with?
I'm going to start with movies.
Okay.
First movie, set to open July 11th, 2025, Superman Legacy. And they say this will mark the start of the DCU. Here's what we know about Superman Legacy. It focuses on, I'm quoting James Gunn and Peter Safran, but I'm pulling it from Variety. It focuses on Superman balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. He is the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way. He is kindness in a world that thinks kindness is old-fashioned. James Gunn is writing the project, and Safran says he hopes James Gunn will direct, but that has not been confirmed. They do want to point out that separately, also as an Elseworlds movie, J.J. Abrams and Ta-Nehisi Coates was working on another Superman film with an African-American Superman, a black Superman, and that movie is still in development under the Elseworlds banner.
And Robert Pattinson's Batman Part 2 with an official release date.
Yes, will come out in 2025. And will be Elseworlds as well.
Yes.
So let's go back to Superman Legacy here. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Lame title. I'll say it.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Going into the actual movie, I love Superman. I don't know if you can see my fucking statue here. You might not. I might have zoomed in a bit too far, but I have a big-ass Superman statue that was not cheap. And I love the character. I did love Man of Steel, and I'm really sad that Henry Cavill, we used to joke, oh, we'll be grandfathers when Man of Steel 2 comes out. It's never coming out.
We're going to be dead.
And that's sad. But the fact that we're getting a new Superman movie excites me in general, and I'm really excited about that. I think the story that they're going to tell and their quotes about, like, you know, kindness in a world that thinks it's old-fashioned, I think that's a really nice way to approach it. What are your thoughts on Superman Legacy as we know now?
James Gunn has said directly that a lot of his source material for the script has come from All-Star Superman, which is a very recognizable, well-known Superman run that a lot of people have touted as being kind of the best Superman's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been a big Superman guy. I haven't really read a lot of the Superman-esque comics. I've read Dark Knight Returns a few times, and I like the Superman in that, but Man of Steel I always was kind of middle of the road on. I thought Henry Cavill was always great, so I am sad to see him go. I loved the quotes they were saying. That he's like, well, I didn't fire Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
He just wasn't hired.
Yeah, and they also said that I felt bad for him because he was dicked around by the studio.
Yeah.
He just said that. But
they're
yeah.
really working hard to show, like, new regime, all good things happening here.
Yeah. You like the Superman in Dark Knight Returns?
I do, yes.
We can fight about that some other day. We're going on to the next film, and I'll be honest here. Characters I am not familiar with. But what does James Gunn do best?
Are you talking about the Batman one?
I'm talking about The Authority.
Okay.
Pulling from Variety. From global fame to relative obscurity, Superman Legacy will lead directly into The Authority, an ensemble movie about superhumans who have a less than idealistic approach to saving the world. Gunn spoke at some length about The Authority, a project he said he's really excited to bring to life. The characters come from Wildstorm, which was launched in 1992 as an independent entity under current DC Comics chief Jim Lee, and ultimately made an imprint of DC. The Wildstorm characters were later folded into the main DC Comics universe when the company rebooted its continuity with the New 52 initiative in 2011. Gunn said he and Safran intend to do the same with Wildstorm characters in the DCU. It isn't just a story of heroes and villains, and not every movie and TV show is going to be about good guys versus bad guys. There are people with very questionable, like the Authority, who basically believe that you can't fix the world in an easy manner, and they take things into their own hands. Gunn said the film is being written now, but declined to say who is the screenwriter. So, again, unfamiliar with the characters. I like the description, and if I'm going to make the Marvel comparison, it kind of sounds like the Eternals, but with the dash of Suicide Squad in there. Maybe almost like The Boys, in a way, except not more of a parody of the genre. I mean, I'm in.
My only concern is Eternaling in Chapter 1.
Yeah, well...
Because I feel like Eternals posed a lot of questions about the Marvel universe. Straight up in the first minute, introducing creation.
Yeah.
Which was a bold swing.
Yeah.
You know, and these people, well, where were they for this? Where were they for that? I feel like the Authority is going to pose a lot of those same questions. It's like, well, they're here.
Yeah. I think that them saying Superman's going to lead directly into it is what interests me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Superman's going to be going to get challenged by people who think that he has no authority. But Superman is Superman. So it's like, how's that going to go? I guess you could say the hierarchy of the DC universe is going to change. Dude, I've been sitting on that. Oh, my God.
He didn't even tell me that one.
Nope.
That's good.
Nope.
Yeah, that intrigues me about directly leading into it. I wonder if it'll build up to some sort of Superman assembling the Justice League to fight the Authority of like, no, we got Earth. You fuck off somewhere else kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe. It might.
We don't know.
It might. Moving on to another film after that, and this one is interesting. I have mixed feelings about it. Mostly positive. The Brave and the Bold.
Bitchin' title.
Yes, but if it's just called The Brave and the Bold, fine. I find it very strange that they won't call it Batman the Brave and the Bold. But it's not the first time they didn't put Batman in a Batman movie title.
Well, do you think it's to differentiate from the Matt Reeves verse? Because that has Batman and people will get confused.
I do. And I honestly have not even really thought about that till just now, so fuck what I said. Along with introducing the DCU's version of Batman, who will exist separately from the version played by Robert Pattinson, The Brave and the Bold will introduce the Bat family, said James Gunn. First among them is Robin, and this version of Robin that they're going to do is Damian Wayne. That is the biological son of Bruce Wayne, and James Gunn describes him as a little son of a bitch and an assassin murderer. So that's going to be fun, and anyone knows Damian Wayne knows that.
Finally, Nightwing, though.
They haven't said Nightwing, but they said the Bat family, which means we're probably going to get Nightwing. Although I heard the one on Titans wasn't bad, but I haven't watched that show.
Okay.
But basically, it's going to be like a father-son movie with Batman and Damian Wayne, Robin, and we're going to see more of the Bat family. I wonder if Leslie Grace will play Batgirl. I bet she does. I'm going to make a prediction that she does.
I also wonder what they'll age Batman up to, because they've always, not always in the DCEU, because Batman and Superman haven't really been shared the screen together. They kept them relatively the same age.
Yeah.
I say that Henry Cavill is a god, you know, but like they both looked like, 50s.
What?
Yeah.
Henry Cavill's like in his 30s.
And he looked 50s.
Okay.
Well, he looked older.
Yeah.
But I could see, like, you put Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck together, and it's like, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I couldn't imagine Ben Affleck with, like, a 20-year-old Superman.
Yeah, no. However...
is what I'm saying. Like, what are they going to do here?
Well, I think that I don't know this. I'm guessing they're going to make Damian Wayne, like, 18.
Okay.
Which would make a Batman, like, 35, 40.
Mm-hmm.
Which, keep Ben Affleck, they won't. But that would be nice. But yeah, no, but like, the Brave and the Bold storyline, very interesting. I'm all about it. I'm just curious as to the tone of this movie and how it's going to go. I am excited, don't get me wrong, but I'm also glad that they're going to be kind of building this world, because they haven't really announced a crossover movie yet.
No.
And I'm interested in how they're going to build the world into doing that. Next film is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. This is based on a very specific comic book run. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is based on the King's Comics run of the same title from 2021 to 22, so it's based on a very recent comic. Woman of Tomorrow features Superman's cousin, Kara Zor-El, who Gunn explained is a very different type of Supergirl than we've seen before. The difference between Superman and her is Superman was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents from the time he's an infant. Supergirl was raised on a rock chip off of Krypton and watched everyone around her die and be killed in horrible ways for the first 14 years of her life. So that's going to be interesting to kind of see that dichotomy, and I wouldn't be surprised if their version of Superman has an appearance in this film. And it has not been confirmed if Sasha Calle, who plays Supergirl in The Flash, is going to be this Supergirl. The fact that they haven't said she is makes me think it's unlikely.
I also think it depends on how much backstory they delve into.
Yeah.
In The Flash, perhaps.
True.
Of, like, if they don't acknowledge it, but if they do a whole different backstory, then it's like, well, I guess it's a new one.
Yeah, that's true. And I will say, I'm pretty excited for this next movie, and this is the last movie that they announced. And by the way, all these projects are going to be from like 2025 to 2027, they said.
And only some of Chapter 1.
Yeah, some of Chapter 1, not the whole Chapter 1. Swamp Thing.
Rad.
Dude, fuck yes. I'm all about this. And they say that it's going to be a straight-up horror film, and they continue saying that by way of explaining further, Gunn referenced the initial reactions to Guardians of the Galaxy joining the Marvel Universe and initial questions about how Rocket Raccoon would work standing next to Thor, that mashup quality, and he said that they're one-upping that approach with Swamp Thing and that this is a much more horrific film, but will have Swamp Thing interact with the other characters still. And it's not quoted here, but I did see a quote from him saying that the films are going to be different genres, not just pretending to be different genres, which to me was a little dig at Marvel. But I think that the benefit of James Gunn doing this is he can take everything he liked about Marvel's approach and didn't like and try it over here.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting.
Now, if only they had an acclaimed horror director in-house already who's directed multiple pictures under the DC banner, who also may or may not have been an executive producer on a failed Swamp Thing TV show, only failed because they dumped it on DC Universe, which then got merged into HBO Go, which then got merged into HBO Max.
Yes. James Wan.
I don't
know if you can see my laptop, but James
Wan. We're big James Wan people.
Oh, yes. That would be great. I think another in-house director, David F. Sandberg, would be great. Muschietti would be great. Honestly, I would love to see Mike Flanagan do this.
Well, that's the answer.
That'd be fun.
Give it to Zach Krieger.
Give it to Zach Krieger. I would love for that to happen. But yeah, really, really excited about the Swamp Thing movie.
No.
What?
Give it to Scott Derrickson.
Do it.
The ball's on James Gunn.
He would
I hope
too.
He starts getting everyone that Marvel left. He's gonna get Edgar Wright. He's gonna get Scott Derrickson,
the original director of Blade, like the one. Oh,
okay. I said that I said that partially as a joke. I think Scott Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill could make a great Swamp Thing movie.
I do think they would.
After the Black Phone, come on.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to television. The first animated series they talked about was actually an animated one called, I know Nick can be excited, called Creature Commandos. It was first greenlit by Safran and Gunn has already written every episode of the show, and the show is currently in production. The Creature Commando characters were first launched in 1980. The premise features Frankenstein's monster teaming up with a werewolf and a vampire and a Gorgon to fight Nazis in World War II. This is not going to quite take that approach. Here are some of the characters that are going to be involved. Rick Flag Sr., the father of Rick Flag, and Weasel.
He's back, baby.
I know you're excited about that.
Lives on.
And they also said that the actors they get to voice the characters will play them in live action when they cross over.
Okay.
Which I think is interesting, to say the least. Which means Sean Gunn's going to go, wah! For that. Now, this next series I'm going to bring up, this is where I actually have a lot of questions.
Wait, hold on, real quick, though. I don't think we established enough. One, Weasel's coming back. Rick Flag Sr.
Yeah.
Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein and a robot.
Yeah. Amazing. I'm in, personally.
Yes. That was my thought. Frankenstein.
Yes, good. Mm-hmm. This shows when I start to ask a lot of questions. Excuse me. Waller. Don't get me wrong. It's a show about Amanda Waller spinoff with Viola Davis. She's an amazing Amanda Waller.
Written by the person who did the acclaimed...
Doom Patrol.
Not Doom Patrol. Watchmen.
And Doom Patrol. It's both the writers of both.
Yeah, I know, but Watchmen. Okay, the writers of Deck the Halls are doing Daredevil Born Again.
Yes.
So, let's...
We're doing great.
Let's temper expectation. They put Brendan Fraser in Doom Patrol. I think they know what they were doing.
Yes, they know exactly what they're doing. But yes, it's Crystal Henry and Jeremy Carver.
Yes.
Are going to be writing the show. And it takes place... Here's where I have questions. Mm-hmm. Amanda Waller is returning. It takes place in between seasons 1 and 2 of Peacemaker. Season 2 of Peacemaker is on hold. So...
Peacemaker 1.5.
So Suicide Squad, James Gunn's is clearly in universe.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean... Here's what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to say that Shazam was the first movie in the DCU. Because the references they make aren't specific to the characters we know and love. They do it in the marketing, but not the movies.
Yeah, the marketing, they just say Batman, Superman.
Yeah. And James Gunn has said that they've created a world where superheroes already exist.
This is a nitpicky thing.
Yeah.
He does have Batflex battering in the first Shazam.
And the headless Superman it's Henry Cavill's outfit.
Yeah.
So because that was the intention at the time.
Yes.
But the reason I'm saying that is because I think he's going to say that some of those movies were in this world.
Yeah.
And not others. I'm curious as to how that's all going to work. I want answers. They won't give me answers till at the end of the year probably, but I'd like them now. I'd like the answers now, please.
But Viola Davis?
Oh, amazing.
It also said a lot of people from Peacemaker will be regulars, which means Jennifer Holland is getting more work.
Yes.
As well as Steve Agee as John Economos, who I love.
Yes, but basically I want to know if Peacemaker and Suicide Squad take place pre-Flash.
Okay.
Or post-Flash. I think that's what I want to know.
I guess they could get away with that, couldn't they?
They could.
Yeah.
I want answers, damn it. They'll give me answers soon.
Because Polka Dot Man's mom worked for Star Labs.
Yep.
So they could establish Star Labs more and have it be post-Flash caused.
And Superman is in the ICU.
Because of a Kryptonian bullet.
Yep.
I want that movie.
I think they could get away with it. That's all I'm saying. But I just want answers. Just tell me by 2024 I'd like to know, please. Can you tell me that, please? But look, I'm excited about the show. Yeah. Viola Davis rules. Amanda Waller rules. Here's the TV show I'm most excited about. Actually, these next 3 are bangers. These next 3 I am stoked about. Next TV show is Lanterns.
That's my most anticipated.
Which is a live-action series about Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, and they play space detectives. They actually mention True Detective as an inspiration for the show. The Green Lantern Corps being detectives upon the galaxy. Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. Fuck and yes.
They monitor,
absolutely.
Quote, Precinct Earth. That's rad.
It's amazingly rad. I cannot wait for this fucking show. And they did confirm that they severed ties with Greg Berlanti.
Mm-hmm.
They said, thanks for the years of work you've done. Now go fuck yourself. And they took his show, because we mentioned on the show at a previous time that they changed up what the show was going to be, and it's now confirmed it's going to be this and fit their universe, which, hey.
I think they said he wanted space opera.
Yeah, and they want True Detective.
I think they made the right choice here.
Hey, we'll see. Now, this next show...
Leather jackets, pleated jeans.
I hope so.
Green Lantern rings.
This next show, I'm actually really excited about, and I'm not seeing many people, get excited about it. I'm stoked.
I'm trying to remember the 5th show.
And it's Paradise Lost.
That's what it was, yeah.
That is going to be awesome. Basically, it is set on Themyscira, Wonder Woman's world, way back when, and they say it's going to be a Game of Thrones style story about the politics and the origins of the island and what's been going on. And I'm curious as to how all these stories are going to tie together. I can't wait.
Well, wasn't there talk about Amazon
spinoff?
Yes,
but that was back when Patty Jenkins was probably going to do it, and I could tell you
she ain't.
Nope. But yeah, so they're going to kind of take that and run it with their Paradise Island. The comic series was a George Perez one.
Oh, okay. Game of Thrones style. That's cool.
Yeah,
they're really touting all the shows people know.
Yeah.
They're really banking on that.
They're doing their producer pitches.
Oh yeah.
And then finally, another series, Booster Gold, which we knew this was coming.
I was honestly shocked no Plastic Man.
I think we'll see them.
Oh, definitely. I was shocked it wasn't top priority.
Yeah, true. I think we're going to get the rest of the slate announced at Comic-Con probably.
Probably. And
I'll be there. I won't be in Hall H though, because F that line. Once in a lifetime was good. Yeah. But I will be on my phone and on the ground for when that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, Booster Gold, for those of you that don't know, he's a character from the future who's kind of a loser, but he comes back to the current age with future technology to make himself seem like a superhero so he can be cool. And it's hilarious. They said it's going to be a straight comedy, like how Swamp Thing's going to be straight horror. Mm-hmm. I'm super stoked about it. I hope that he teams up with Blue Beetle because they were a good team in the comics. I'm so excited. So just to run it down again, not including the Batman Part 2 with Matt Reeves, which is Elseworld, not including Joker, Elseworld, and all the Elseworld TV shows like Harley Quinn and Teen Titans Go. Here is the new DCU, starting in 2025. Superman Legacy, The Authority, The Brave and the Bold, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and Swamp Thing. And in television, Creature Commandos, Waller, Lanterns, Paradise Lost, and Booster Gold. Fuck yeah, dude.
Great announcement lineup. Wild cards in there that I just would not have anticipated.
And I think we're going to get a lot more answers after The Flash.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, it's going to be Comic-Con because I think The Flash comes out in June.
Mm-hmm.
Comic-Con's July. We're going to get some fucking bombs at Comic-Con.
You saw this. Here's where we're going.
Yeah.
You'll get more story or Yeah.
Wow.
What is canon, what's not, what's being rebooted, what's not.
Yeah. Yeah,
Definitely.
I think so. So overall, I'm cautiously optimistic about the future of DC.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it would have been handled better. I wish that we could have seen the continuation of some storylines I was really invested in. Mm-hmm. I wish Ben Affleck could play Batman until he dies. But I'm just excited that there's people at the business who clearly are excited about doing this.
And I also like the I really like the concept of balancing the obscure and sometimes weird with the recognizable, a Superman, a Supergirl, Batman.
Yeah.
But then you're getting Creature Commandos, you're getting The Authority, you're getting Swamp Thing, which Swamp Thing I think has become a lot more mainstream lately, but still not something you would immediately think of
feature film
and chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have expected that.
If Wes Craven was still around, they'd give him another shot at it.
They'd let him do it again.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah,
good announcements.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for coming into our special surprise episode to talk about the DC stuff.
Yes.
What are your guys' thoughts? Please leave them in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.